Hey, what's going on, guys? This is me, JC, and welcome back to my channel once again, and welcome to year number 9 on this channel. I know that's crazy to believe. I know no one watched my channel 8 years ago when we started, but it's crazy. This is year number 9. This is the year of Treyarch Zombies. This is the year of Black Ops 4, whatever you want to call it. And what better way to start this new chapter than to bring back a series that actually a lot of you guys really like, called Things People Want. Sort of a secondary series to Things People Say, except it's just me and we're talking about wish list stuff coming up for something that we're really excited about. And I mean, let's be honest here, Black Ops 4 is happening. We're gonna get a teaser pretty soon in the upcoming year. And at the end of the day, that's what I want this channel to be all about moving forward. I want it to be a discussion between me and you guys, or me and my friends. Those are the two things I really want going forward. And of course, entertaining moments and funny moments here or there, they happen a lot. But again, to quickly sum it all up, I basically just want to bring this series back that you guys enjoyed. I didn't do that many episodes of it, and I want to reboot it and bring it back for the year of Treyarch, because that's what I'm excited for, and I think you guys are excited for it as well. So to get things started pretty fast, let me just say it, this series is gonna be pretty frequent. I'm just gonna say things on Twitter, ask you guys some questions every time there's news or every time I'm excited about something, and whatever responses I get is probably what I'm gonna use in the episode. So if you haven't followed me on Twitter, go ahead and do so. Why haven't you? Don't you wanna see my tweets about VR chat at 3 in the morning? But I asked you guys on Twitter to tell me, what era do you want to see Black Ops 4 in? Just as the general era of the game, the next Call of Duty, what setting do you want to have and why? And here is what you guys said. AJ says he wants it to be futuristic like BO2, that's boots on the ground and further improves from the story of BO2, not like BO3. And we got another reply to that adding, and it could have an EMP apocalyptic world, like there was exosuits and power, but now it's all gone. Firstly, I just want to say that I really like that idea. I like the idea of the power just being like destroyed and all the advanced movement technology that we have being completely gone. That just sounds like a Call of Duty that would be perfectly made to go against exosuits. It's like, all right, you don't want exosuits? All right, we'll make the whole game about an EMP. How about that? Like, that just sounds awesome from my perspective. And I really like post-apocalyptic stuff. Like, all my favorite shows, all my favorite media in just film, TV, and all of that is usually post-apocalyptic. So I like that idea a lot. I really do. But in terms of what AJ is saying, I see this a lot. People really want Black Ops 4 to be about a continuation of Black Ops 2's story and not BO3's. I don't know if they'll ever do that though, because it does seem kind of weird just to kind of go back and then expand on BO2, but not expand on BO3 or anything. But I guess it's possible, because BO3 did have a really weird story that was sort of like a spin-off story in a sense. So maybe that is possible. I'm not sure. I do admit I see that everywhere. Everybody's always talking about that. But I do 100% believe that boots on the ground is going to be a thing. I really doubt that we're going to have exo movement. Or if there is exo movement, it's not going to be really huge. Moving on to the next one, Will says, I think it will be, and want it to be, a modern era game. We haven't had a truly modern game with no future-like weapons or kill streaks since MW2, and I feel like Treyarch finally doing their take on a modern boots on the ground Call of Duty could result in an incredible game. I think for me, MW3 would still be count as modern. I mean, it is called Modern Warfare, but I think I get what you're saying. You're saying MW2 is kind of the last one that wasn't like a crazy premise. Like MW3 was literally World War III was the premise, which I won't lie is not too crazy nowadays. But overall, Will here is saying what a lot of people are saying as well. A lot of people really want and think the next Treyarch game is going to be a modern game, because they've never really done it before. They've done Cold War, they've done World War II, they've done a little bit of Vietnam in that Cold War game, and then they did a crazy 2068 artificial intelligence sci-fi game, but they haven't done a modern game yet. It's something they haven't done, and I'm not sure. Like, I really don't know what would happen if they do so, because we've never seen Call of Duty go back to modern yet. We've seen Call of Duty go back to World War II, but we've never seen them go back to a modern day era. I'm not entirely sure what the premise of that would be. I feel like at just some level, Treyarch makes very complex storyline games. Their games, whatever the setting is, whatever the general setting is, it seems like for the most part, except for like World at War. World at War is kind of the last one where it wasn't off the walls, just complex and insane. But after World at War, every single Treyarch game in terms of the story and the setting has had some crazy twists to it. Like, it's had some really cool ideas thrown into the mix that make that era feel different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know we never had a 2025 game before in Call of Duty, but Black Ops 2 had some really crazy ideas. We had multiple endings. We had all this sort of stuff. We had this insane villain-like character. I mean, it was just crazy. Like, Reznov and Black Ops 1 and all that stuff, that was off the walls for Call of Duty, and it was awesome. It was amazing. So if they did a modern game, I'm really curious how Treyarch would put their little spin on it and do their little Treyarch-like things, where they put these crazy, crazy cryptic things in the story, or they do these crazy, crazy twists that we never see coming. There's just so much that I have no idea what they would do that it kind of gets me excited. Like, if they did a modern game, I'd be pretty behind that. I want to see what they would do because we haven't had a Treyarch take on that, and a Treyarch take on that would be interesting. It always is, let's be honest. Jack says the next Treyarch game is going to be about 2017, no doubt. We're going to be shooting flipping water balls at each other, stabbing them with fidget spinners, and All Star by Smash Mouth will be the game's only audio. That's really sad, actually. Aaron says what we saw earlier. I actually really like the idea of them going further into the past, like Black Ops 3, and into a dystopian future where nukes and EMPs have gone off, leaving us with boots on the ground combat with a mix of futuristic weapons and machinery. See, that crap's interesting. That crap's interesting to me. I know it sounds kind of generic in a way, but God, I want to see a game like that. I really do. Hedgehog says, I think it's going to be in Vietnam. If we keep progressing from past until present, Vietnam is after World War II respectively. I would like to see what they bring back from BO1, and I hope this gets in the video because nothing of mine has ever been in a video before. Hedgehog, you're here, my friend. You're here. You're here. But yeah, Vietnam is another setting that Call of Duty has dabbled around but hasn't done fully in any retrospect. Sledgehammer was originally going to make a Vietnam game back in the day, but then they were tasked on to continue the Call of Duty series, the MW3, and so on and so forth. I won't lie, Vietnam would be really cool. I will say this though, there's a lot of rumors that the next Battlefield game, and this is kind of like leaked information, and I don't really talk about leaks too much, but it's a general rumor that's just going around right now that the next Battlefield game might be Bad Company 3, which I'm a huge fan of Bad Company. Like, Bad Company is my favorite Battlefield games. I know this is a COD channel, but I've never really was a fan of any of the other Battlefield games, just the Bad Company ones. They were my favorite. Bad Company 2 is my favorite one. And there's a rumor going around that the next Battlefield game might be Vietnam, and it might be like some sort of prequel to Bad Company 2 or something. And so if Battlefield's going that route, that would be really interesting. If Call of Duty was going the same route and they're competing, that would be a very interesting year. But I just have a feeling, I don't quote me on this, but I have a feeling the next game is not Vietnam. I could be completely wrong. This could be taken out of context later and people can put this clip everywhere once I'm wrong, but I have a feeling it's gonna be something we haven't seen before from Treyarch. And I know that Vietnam is something they haven't done fully, but I feel like even with Black Ops 1 a little bit, they dabbled in it, and I feel like we just haven't seen a lot of things from Treyarch that still they could do. And I know it sounds weird and it sounds like I don't know what I'm talking about, but I just have some weird feeling that it's not gonna be something as simple as just Vietnam game. You know what I mean? But I would love it. That setting is really cool. Smokey Space says, I think modern, but honestly wouldn't be surprised if they stayed in the World War II setting because this new COD started development about a year or two ago. So if you think their ideas back then were probably to make a World War II game. Treyarch has probably been working on this game for a little over 2 years now, and we have no idea as well like when they had the initial idea of what their next game would be. So it might have been even earlier than that. So I can totally see where you're coming from. You're looking at how Call of Duty was going and you're like, oh shoot, they definitely knew that futuristic was going in a bad direction in terms of the consumers not liking it. So they might be working on a World War II game as well. But I don't necessarily think, like, I could be wrong, but I don't necessarily think that Call of Duty wants to go back to World War II completely. I think they just more want to go back to boots on the ground. That was the issue, was not necessarily the setting, but the boots on the ground movement that was lacking. Plus, I feel like nowadays having 2 World War II games in a row might feel a little bit odd, and especially if it's very, very similar, it just might not catch people in the same way as something entirely different would. And I don't know, I could be wrong. If it is World War II, I imagine there's gonna be some crazy twist on it. Like, I'm not even joking. If it's World War II, then I wouldn't even be surprised if it's like some crap where it's an alternate World War II. Like, that's how like crazy Treyarch is to me, right? Like, everything they do now is always crazy and just out there and cryptic and insane in terms of storytelling. So like, if it is World War II, then I'm hyped anyways because I have a feeling it's gonna be really, really different. But if it's not World War II and it's something else, then I'm hyped anyways because I have a feeling it's gonna be something different. Like, just no matter what it is, I'm still hyped. And I know it sounds so naive, but like, I just believe in them a lot as a developer. I love them to death. And I don't know. My gut says it's not a World War II game. That's my gut right now. But I could be wrong. I could always be wrong. I don't know. Mike says, all I want is for it to not be BO4. I think it's time for Treyarch to move on from it. 3 barely had anything to do with 1, and 2 besides the zombie storyline. I don't know. Like, this for me is something that comes up a lot, and I'm glad this comment is in this video because I think by this point, the Black Ops series is not known for like its setting. It's known for being just Treyarch series in the Call of Duty series. I mean, like Modern Warfare, like MW1, 2, and 3, like that was Infinity Ward's thing. Black Ops is Treyarch's thing, right? And I feel like at this point, the Black Ops series is the most known one in Call of Duty. Black Ops 4, I see it very likely that it's gonna be titled that or something very, very close to it. Like it could be like Black Ops subtitle here, right? It could be just another name under it, but I have a feeling Black Ops is gonna be in the title. It could be set in whatever timeline it wants to be. It doesn't have to be a storyline continuation of the past Black Ops games because we've now had Black Ops 3 and that barely had anything to do with anything, so they can do whatever they want. Each Black Ops game has been literally in an entirely different era. So Black Ops 4 could be whatever they want it to be, and if it's just called Black Ops something, it could definitely be whatever they want it to be. So at the end of the day, I don't think the name really matters that much. Like it does, sure, but in terms of sales, the Black Ops name would be good for it, I feel like. If you have the game titled Black Ops 4 or Black Ops something, I feel like it's gonna sell a lot better. The name is good for marketing, but it's not everything. So I don't really mind it being called Black Ops 4 unless we're just like nitpicking, you know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to like hate on this comment too much. And like I understand what you're talking about. You want them to like do something entirely new and just get away from that name. But at the same time, I feel like they can do that with the name still. Like I feel like they've already proved that because all the games are just so much different from each other. They really are. Sean says, what if it was all eras and the maps took place at all different times and guns came from all different times and the theme of the campaign was time travel? Look, I'm not gonna lie. That sounds crazy. Like, that sounds insane. But if we ever had time travel in Call of Duty, it probably would be Treyarch. I mean, let's be real. I mean, we've had time travel in Zombies. We've had so many crazy things in Zombies. So if it was any developer to do something crazy like that, it would be Treyarch. But I don't know if that's too crazy for Call of Duty. That might be too crazy for the general setting of the game. But hey, I mean, that would be a way to go back to boots on the ground. I mean, if it's in the future, but you're going in the past, like to past eras, I mean, there you go. That's something right there. So I don't know. It's an insane idea, Sean. I feel like deep inside me, like I love that idea, but it is a little corny. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little cheesy and a little corny, but I'll be honest, I'd love that. And finally, without further ado, guys, our last comment about the setting of Black Ops 4 is a world without Jake or Logan Paul. And I think that sums up today's episode in the best way. It's been me, JC. Thank you guys so much for watching today's Things People Want. Check me out on Twitter if you want to stay up to date on Call of Duty Black Ops 4 discussion and hype. And I'm going to be asking you guys so much about this game. It's just gonna be crazy. So stay tuned for that. This series is gonna be a staple going forward into the year. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully these episodes are gonna be a lot shorter than Things People Say, but this one was probably pretty long because it's the first one that I'm doing. So I gotta get back into the grind of like doing quick episodes for it. But once I get back into that and get it back organized to how it should be, this is just the first attempt, it'll be a lot better. So stay tuned for that. Follow me on Twitter. Check out the channel Discord if you haven't done that already. We have an awesome community that talks on Discord about a load of things in the upcoming Black Ops 4 game, plus a bunch of memes all the time. There's always memes. But yeah, again, this has been me, JC. Thank you so much for watching. Comment down below if you have an idea of what the setting of Black Ops 4 is. And as always, I will see you guys on the next video. Have a good one, guys.